dudes. Alright, we are going to flow forward. We're going to get started today. These cards are ready to play. We're going to get these cards shuffling. Yes, as I mentioned, we'll be moving through all 12 houses, 1 through 12, Aries through Pisces. Beginning, as I mentioned as well, we're going to go sub only for the chat, so I'm going to do that. Just a moment. If you want to check out my YouTube, the recording of this, you can do that in my bio. If you have any questions for me, you're always welcome to request a message, and we'll be jumping on later for personal readings if that's a question. Yes, indeed. Alright, we are going sub only for the conversation. I don't know if it's going to work. It's my first time trying this. Regardless, we're going to go all 12 houses, Aries through Pisces. Get these cards are shuffling. Appreciate y'all being here in your presence. Let's get to it. John, I see you, my dude. Thank you for the subscription. I'm glad that you are able to jump in. 23 out of 33 it sees. I like this number indeed. Thank you for the follow, the likes, the follows, the shares are always appreciated as well as we're flowing forward. Yes, yes, my dudes. Let's get to it. As I said, we're beginning house number 1, Aries. Aries. Sun, Moon, Ascendants, Mars, wherever this may be in your chart. House number 1 is you, how you see yourself, how you present yourself onto the world, your soul, that eternal flame, that connection of your inherent nature. Let us see what these cards have to say, any encouragement, any direction on this beautiful Tarot Tuesday. We cut the cards, we clear it, we draw. 2. Flip the deck upside down and we show you the 9 of Pentacles. Aries, this is a great way to start the evening for the collective because we all have house number 1 in our chart, how you relate to yourself. Yes, where is your rising sign? Your rising sign is oftentimes associated with house number 1, 9 of Pentacles here. Alongside her, 6 of Wands, 6 and 9. We got 9 and 6. 6 in reverse. Sometimes 6 in reverse looks like a 9, doesn't it? Nonetheless, this is what we're getting. Now is the time to express, to really step into this. The fact that we have the Chariot card in the root is very powerful, allowing us to know that we are on track. Every day we are training. Every day it takes practice, one step in that direction. Staying focused, staying disciplined, staying grounded, one breath at a time, but really knowing that you are here to show up in the way that you can, in the way that you're called. Ultimately, where your heart pulls you, where your yearnings of your soul reach for, my dudes. Yes, Aries, house, moon, sun, house, I meant to say sun, moon, Mars, rising, my dude. Right now we're getting nothing but opulence as well. Maybe a sense that you'll be receiving some levels of abundance in whatever form or fashion that may you are calling, whether it be monetary abundance, whether it be relationship abundance, whether it be spiritual knowledge abundance, whether it be self-love abundance. Being on track for this and learning how to step into and receiving is the ultimate challenge. It's really sitting in the seat of the driver of the chariot and knowing that you don't need to reach for anything. You got the ropes in your hand, you're here steering the wheel. You gotta stay calm, centered, and grounded throughout the midst of this so you know how to take action accordingly. Stay present, stay grounded and aware. The more that you can stay focused on the things that bring a sense of joy and lightheartedness to your sense of being, prioritizing these yearnings of the soul. Aries is the beginning of today's first Tarot Tuesday of this calendar. Indeed. Shouts out Gregory. Peace and prosperity to all of you beautiful beings. We're going to wrap up this collective reading and start moving forward with Taurus, house number 2. I'm going to drink some water, just a moment. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Appreciate y'all. You're always welcome to keep liking if anything resonates. Yes, yes, yes. I'm curious. I can't hear any feedback, which is different because we've never done sub-only before. I like this, and at the same time, I kind of do miss y'all's comments if I'm being honest. So, Aries Fairy, what are you thinking today, Shell? John Gay, you're so sweet. Thank you for the gifts, my dude. Nonetheless, we're moving forward with house number 2. I think we're going to turn it on. And then if we have too many spammers, we'll see what's happening. Nonetheless. Dun, 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 dun. If you're here listening, vibing, you want to interact, you can go ahead and drop that sunflower emoji. And now we have the comments open for everybody.
nonetheless, I think we are probably going to continue with the sub only. Just I like to hear, the feedback if this is landing in any type of way. Regardless, today, Taurus, house number 2. I almost said Horus. Shouts out to my dude. Taurus, house number 2 is values. What do you value? What do you hold in your heart, near and dear to your core, and how does that express onto the world? Sun, moon, ascendant. Abel, thank you for the gifts. Hey, the sunflower's in this. I love it. We are here in the garden. Taurus, yes, and Venus, wherever the Venus placement may be, babies in your chart. Let's get going. We're ready. We're gonna shuffle one more time. Thank you, John, so dearly. Much love indeed. Ooh, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck, my dude. We're gonna do it one more time. House number 2. Cut the deck. Clear it for you. Page of Swords. Amanda Lynn, welcome in, my dude. Hello, hello. The moon. Right side up. Turn the comments on just for you. Just as long as you're not spamming, my dude. The moon. And the 2 of Wands. Right side up in the root. House number 2, my dudes. Taurus, for you. The perfect time to reflect. The moon. The reflection of the sun, to reflect on the stories you've been subscribing to, reflect on the stories that you've been ingraining, believing, telling yourself day in and day out. And do you want to continue these? Especially right now, it's time moving forward that we are always reminded that we are the authors of our reality, and we can continue to craft a new. Can you make me a squirrel AI picture? Hey, I probably can. You'll have to send me some prompts. Anyway, thank you for the compliment. Yes, I was having some fun today on the AI, as you see. And right now we're reading for... Dude, I would gladly... In fact, I was actually thinking about creating a leg of my business as making AR-generated personal things for folks. So if you want to talk, you already know how to reach me. Amanda, amazing. I love this. If anybody else is curious, slide into my DMs. We'll talk about AR art generation. I'll be glad to get some goodies for you. Regardless, Aries, values. And I'm, as an individual, writing my stories and what it is that I value, listening to my intuition, to be open with this conversation with my friends, my dudes here, and reflecting and recognizing that I'm capable of writing a new story and utilizing the tools all around me to walk in alignment with my destiny, and thus you can do the same, because I'm nothing more than a reflection of you, my dude. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus placements. Right now, where are we placing our energies, particularly when it comes to stories? Reminding ourselves that we are nothing more than the stories we tell ourselves. Shouts out to the OG. I've never heard anyone else say it. If you want to quote someone on it, that's me. What's up, G? Good to see you, my dude. We are nothing more than the stories we tell ourselves, Taurus. So now, how can we continue to clean our mirror, reflect on our intuition, and more so learn how to surrender to the mission and the heart intuition, that gift within, that connection that you have with the world within and all around you, knowing that you play a pivotal role in this experience and no one else can do it for you. We are doing all 12 houses on Tarot Tuesday, my dude, and we're moving forward with house number 3, Groovy. Gemini, babies, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Mercury, energy, house number 3, communication. How are you expressing, how are you communicating your values onto the world? Shell, I got your email, that book. Outstanding, isn't it? Yes, yes, yes. If anybody wants to know, the book is called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. Highly recommend you look it up. Yes, right now we are reading for house number 3, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Now you gotta hear the perfect time, of course. Geminis. Any Geminis in this room? I see you, my dudes. Welcome in. We got this, we got the deck. Clear, draw, 2. 8 of Wands. Reverse. 4 of Pentacles. Right side up. The Lovers.
3, my dude. Carrying along with one's values, learning how to recognize that this is the root, the source of your motivation, your inspiration, your why, what you're here to do, your values. Basically make love to life and then love your life. Why else would you be living if you weren't here to love your life? The fact that we have these two in reverse, especially this one in the root, is reminding us of at least like, yeah, I can't speak for you, but ultimately I believe that all beings want to and naturally yearn for homeostasis. And if you ask me, love is the closest thing I can express to homeostasis. A sense of harmony, a sense of moving in natural order. The utmost freest expression of love is this, natural, if you ask me. Learning how to tap into this original essence within oneself, because this is what creation permeates, if you ask me. Yes, creation is the essence of love, as they say, knowing that it all stems from your values. So what are you holding into your core, and what are you here to create, Gemini? Yes, what do you love to do? What fills you up with love in your life, in your day-to-day? And how can you fill your cup up with these musings, shall I say, and then continue to share your gifts? Ooh, yeah, that was like choppy, but I felt like it was, yeah, I don't know. Not gonna judge myself for this, having personally this body being born underneath the Gemini moon. Just recognizing the values and what do you hold in speaking your truth, and knowing that you're meant to be speaking from this place, communicating from this place, and ultimately, as a result, knowing that the intention, I mean, I don't mean to project onto your space, but for me personally, knowing that the intention is communicating and practicing and moving towards a deeper process of union within oneself, uniting the masculine and feminine aspects within myself. This time they show up more present onto the world and continue to grow. Yes, and I believe a lot of us can do the same, and that's really where the spark begins. Yes, alright. Solid, Gemini, I like it. House number 3, indeed. We shall flow forward and see. Number 4, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, Moon, doubly. Any Cancers in the house today? Let us see what the cards have to say. Be you, my dudes. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. Today we are reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. Leo will be up next, and then we'll have Virgo. So if you want to wait for 2, that's for you, my dude. Yes, the dude does abide. And we are moving forward with house number 4. Relationships, connection. Your connections based on yourself and your values and how you communicate them. Yes, house number 4 in its expression. How is it shown in your sign today? Look at the deck. Clear the energy. We draw 2. 7 of Pentacles. Right 7. The Moon in reverse. The Page of Swords in the root in reverse as well. Cancer, my dudes, I always find it fun when the moon jumps in for you. How appropriate this is. This is how we know the cards are listening. The synchronicities are on point. Yes, right now we're being called to reflect on returning to that first reading for the collective for Aries, house number 1. I don't know if you're here for it. What stories are you telling yourself? Maybe Cancer individuals, there's people who have prominent placements, are connecting with Aries individuals at this time, or maybe you're being called to utilize a little bit more Aries energy of your passion and the desires and imagination that you want to create within your life to flame the story, to fuel the story. 7 of Pentacles here. What seeds, what stories are you nurturing in your garden, mentally, physically, spiritually? How are you growing throughout this reality, and what are you being called to
tend to? What are you being called to prune? What are you being called to nurture? What are you being called to continue? What are you being called to cultivate? What are you being called to compost? What stories are you telling yourself? Only the intuition knows, and ultimately it's up to you to decide. No one can do it for you. We all can do our best in our own way, with our best capabilities. Be easy on yourself. Trading. Lately what's been happening for me is learning how to talk with my guides and then trade sensations with them. Basically making offerings and deals with my guides. Being like, hey, I'll trade you this story of lack and fear-based mentality for a story of abundance mindset and trust and faith that everything is going to work out in perfect order and I always have everything that I need. And my guides are like, bet, you got it, my guy. And I'm like, cool, thank you. What stories are we telling ourselves? And we can take on practices that are what one might say as, what is the word it's slipping me? Somatic. Somatic. Whether it be in the form of movement or the form of literally creating a practice that allows us to rewire our neural network to see things from a fresh perspective. Yes. Yes, because that's what amplifies the magic and allows you to remember that you are the author of your reality and how you continue to express this and then connect onto the world. Yes. House number 4. This is a banger of a reading. I'm so grateful to let these words move through these lips. We're going to flow forward with Leo, house number 5 tonight. Yes. House number 5, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, doubly on the Sun. Yes. House number 5 is Ego, Romance, Desire, what it is that you acquire and call into this world. Yes. Yes. I know it's wintertime, Leo, but we are ready. These cards have been played. They're starting to get a little rusty, it seems. It's wild. Let's see, maybe I'm just rusty on my shuffling. Who am I to blame? These cards. It's all me. These cards are like, hey, my guy, take a second. There you go. Leo, house number 5. I appreciate you and your patience. Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Let us see what these cards have to say today. We're going to cut the deck, clear it. We will draw 2. Powerful cards right off the bat. We have the Hierophant here. The Magician. Per Blue Pool, welcome in. We've been on for 20 minutes. 21. Almost 22, but we're about to be 23. Empress in the root. Leo for you. 404. Strong cards. Empress in the root, house number 5. The Magician. The Hierophant. This is a lifestyle, baby. Creating. Practicing one's magic. This is not just a lifestyle. This is the life path. This is the life journey. John, thank you for the gifts. Leo, my dudes. This is the Hierophant, the one who does this daily, step by step, breath by breath. Still finds a way to choose joy throughout the experience, to embrace every bit of this radically. To embrace every bit of this radically. Every bit of your experience can be utilized as energy to birth your creation, regardless of the form and fashion that it takes. That's the wisdom of the Hierophant, house number 5, and when it comes to manifesting one's desires onto this life. It's all about learning how to sit in the frequency of it, to attract it, to take the steps to manifest it and create it, but ultimately recognizing that you're not doing it anyway. You can choose to move in the direction of your ego's desires, which are usually expressed through more shallow things like the wantings of having a car without much more desire on it based on its brand, or the wantings of having a specific job just based on its dollar sign, other than the ethics and deeper values behind it. Or you can choose a path of wanting and desiring a life what the universe wants for you, which is Oftentimes, if you ask me from what I've witnessed through my personal experience in these brief 26 years, according to Gregory, happy birthday. You can also choose to allow your desire to align with the desires of the universe, which more often than not is to see symbiosis, homeostasis, a state of benevolence for everybody. Everybody. My ears are ringing right now. That's the ultimate. This is the Tao as I've been listening to the expression of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu, read and shared by Wayne Dyer in Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. I'll continue to bring it up because this is how I wish to change my desires. And I desire to surrender my egoic will unto the universe as an individual. Thank you for witnessing this now, all of you amazing individuals. What do you desire? What do you wish to bring in birth unto this world? Every instant we have the capacity to practice magic. As we speak, we're casting spells. So how are you speaking to yourself? What thoughts are you allowing in your mental space? And are they focused on your desires? Or is that energy being wasted? That's another thing when it comes to manifesting and attracting desire. It's like, if you're spending all of your time beating yourself up or focusing on the worries, the doubts, and the fears, it's going to be much more complicated to get what it is that you want. And if you just look at trends, you know, love always wins. So it's just like where it comes down to as well. So what do you love, and where's your desire coming from? Is it pure, or is it from an egoic, hedonistic state? That's up for you to decide. And the world will act accordingly. And it's not my responsibility to judge you for it. It's something I'm learning personally. And that's like this Hierophant does. He just keeps walking on, doing his thing, because he knows that he's, as this one book from the Bible, I think, says, I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. That's just like that quote. I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. I don't know the actual quote name, but that's the mentality right now. When it comes to the desire, is staying on track. You got it. It's here. It's happening. All these cards are right set up. She's in the root. Springtime? Ooh, just you wait. She's coming.
Yeah. House number 6. Virgo up next.
Thank y'all for the gifts. Y'all are so sweet. I appreciate this. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Mercury, wherever you may have these placements in your chart. Yes.
Virgo is the second element of Earth. Work, how your values are expressed and then brought into a more concrete, grounded way of being, consistent way of being on a daily work. Knowing that literally just the act of shuffling these cards right now is work. Thank you for that fire, my guy. If you look up the physics definition of work, it's just moving energy from one place to another. Let's work. Virgo, house number 6. Let us see what you have to say. Today, we cut the deck. We clear the energy, we draw. 2. 8 of Cups here for you. And the Page of Cups as well. Ace of Swords. Collective, my dudes, I don't know if you've picked up on it yet, but as we do these Tarot Tuesday readings, we're often building on them, a theme for the entire collective, because we all have 12 houses, and so this builds on our own personal experience. Right now, the mind, just amplifying what we just learned. House number 6, Virgo. Day to day, we're being called to shift the work inward, and that mind is the real work. So even when we're at our jobs doing the thing, what are we focusing on? Are we in autopilot? Are we on worries? Right now we're being called and encouraged to leave behind any densities, any desires, any longings or lingering habits, patterns, programs that are not in alignment with your greatness. You're choosing a more light-hearted sense of being upon and here, knowing that you're in the world and not of the world, because the world is a real dense place, but ultimately when you're shining your light and doing your thing and moving from the heart space, listening to your intuition, listening to the water within, listening to the signs, the synchronicities, and the guidance of how the universe will continuously converse with you,
You're in a conversation with the universe right now, and she will continue to point you in the direction that you need to move, whether it be inward, outward, or all around. Or not at all. Right now, Mercury is in retrograde. Venus is the zodiac of Mercury. Right now we're being called. The real work is focusing our energy so as Mercury is in retrograde. If you're being challenged or obstacles are being presented, how can you continue to take a step back and remind yourself that this shit is not even real? I'm gonna lend you some Pisces energy because that's the opposite side of Virgo, and Pisces is all about being in this shit is not even real energy. So why am I getting so worked up? So Virgo, how can we shift on focusing on what it is that we want to bring in and call upon our experience rather than being daunted and knowing that you have all of the strength and skills and I guess I don't want to say requirements, all the prerequisites. You've accomplished all the scores and tests. You have everything it needs to accomplish the task at hand, and you're basically here walking through the doors to be like, hey, look, everyone said I wasn't gonna make it through the exam, but I made it through the exam. So now I'm here. Now I just gotta learn how to own my shit and not be ashamed. Because if people are gonna project hate, they're gonna project hate. But there's gonna be people projecting love as well that want to see you continue to grow in your state. You got this, my dude. Continue to listen to your intuition, and remember that you are the one taking one step, one breath at a time, one beat at a time. Keep it aligned. Alright. Yes, we're gonna flow forward, Virgo. Libra, house number 7. Sun, moon, ascendant. Spiritual Woman 1111, I appreciate the subscription. Welcome in, welcome in. Libra, house number 7. This is about connection with individuals outside of oneself, your fellow reflections, and your relationships and how they're expressed onto the world. Cut the deck. Play the energy. Draw. 2. 3 of Wands in reverse. 7 of Pentacles. Yes, it is Spotify. Right now, we are doing Juanito, we are reading for all 12 houses. We'll be doing personal readings in probably like an hour if you want to jump on in a little bit. I'd be happy to read for you tonight. Right now, house number 7, we have the Hermit in reverse. Seven of Pentacles right side up again. Only one for this reading. I can't remember which reading was the same, similar before, but maybe y'all are related at this moment in time. Libra, right now we're being focused on reflecting with our inner garden. That's been the mentality that I've been developing over the past, I want to say 5 years. It's like learning that we're here at the garden. Y'all ever heard that quote, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in the war. And yeah, definitely getting that energy. It all begins within. Ultimately, everything is mental. Your land is your body. What are you allowing to grow? How are you allowing it to evolve and develop? How do you communicate with it? There's multiple science research out there talking about how if you talk to plants, they grow better. How are you talking to life? What is your inner garden looking like? Libra, right now is we're being called to bring balance to this, to clean up, to prune, to dive deep into the depths, to remove those roots, to continue to relinquish and recognize that this is a lifelong experience, though it's only going to continue to evolve. Just because you've accomplished one chapter, you've completed one chapter, the next chapter also presents work that we're required to do, especially when it maintains our connections and the connection with self. With the Hermit mode, with the Hermit card in reverse in the root, shows Hermit mode might be required for these last couple of days of winter, these last couple of weeks, last couple of months of winter, going inward. This will help you bring greater balance springtime, when you're here to actually go out there and connect and grow alongside your fellow reflections. But right now we're being called to prune a little bit, compost a little bit, clean, transmute a little bit, reflect on these waves, knowing that we don't have to jump on each one that comes our way. Yes, knowing that we can sit back and be like, hey, that wave is not for me. I'd rather lay low. I'd rather sit back for this one. Yes. Indeed. Chrissy, I did not leave you a comment. That was not me. I'm glad that you're here, but if you ever see anybody who's trying to look like me, reach out to you. That wasn't me. That was a fake account. So you can just block him and report him right away. Nonetheless, I appreciate you, Bobby, for following. Y'all just jumping in here, sitting with the readings. If it's your first time here, if you've been here for a bit, all my squad, shouts out John. Thank you for this. The Hots, my dude. Much love to you, Libra. Right now we're diving inward. This is the real work. This is the scariest part, but this is what we're here for. Absolutely, absolutely. I see you, Empowered Mindset. Welcome in, my dude. Right now we're reading for the collective. House number 8 is on the way for Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Ascendants, yes. Pluto placements. House number 8 is transformation, death, relationships, how it plays out into the world. Yeah, the juicy goodness. Speaking of darkness, Libra, I'm going through it. We are here. Let's see if Scorpio can offer any guidance, clarity, or direction. Shuffle these cards. Keep it moving. We cut the deck. Clear the energy. Draw 3. Indeed, the Wheel of Fortune. Reverse. The Knight of Pentacles right side up. The Fox, almost there. Knight of Cups, reverse. Alongside the Fortune. The Birth, both in reverse. The Star and the Root, Scorpio, my dudes. I think Scorpios are always feeling dark. As a Scorpio rising and a Pisces sun, let me share some insight from you, my friend, reminding ourselves that we are always connected. It never fades. I will continue to bring up this metaphor / connection, similarity when you see this card. You remember that scene from Hercules when the Fates are trying to cut his string, his golden thread? That's you and your path, your destiny, but oftentimes we can get distracted from it. But it can't be cut, it can't be severed. The more we can bring mindfulness, consciousness to the fact that we have a personal destiny, that we are to live onto the world and walk and plant these seeds, this is the path of the fortune and the love that it is that we are here to experience, listening to our intuitions, the water within, learning how to choose to prioritize the frequency of fortune. You hear me? I didn't just say it, just say it. I said learning how to prioritize the frequency of fortune. Because you're a radio and you're tuning in to frequencies at every moment. How are you feeling? That's how the frequencies present themselves. You are not your feelings. The more you can practice disidentifying, take a step back from allowing yourself to witness the feeling rather than expressing or reacting to it subconsciously rather than doing so from a space that is rather than reacting from your emotions subconsciously, learning how to respond from a conscious space is the key ultimately, and something that's not taught in educational school or on the mainstream. But the frequency of fortune is this easy ultimately, and I'm still learning. The body is adapting and evolving as a channel to make this message come through more clearly, consistently, rhythmically. And this is how we can ultimately learn that we are allowed to make love to life every instant of every day, and we can plant these seeds within our reality. Yes. And this is what's here for us in the garden. What is being called upon us as stars here in the garden, knowing that you are a star made of the same exact energies of that one up in the sky. And you're shining out here tonight. Do you think the other stars compare each other to themselves? Or say, hey, I'm not, or just compare themselves to themselves, say, hey, I'm not shining bright enough. Hey, I need to be doing more work. I don't think so. I'm saying these words for myself, Scorpio. That's for you. Let's get to it, my dude. Sagittarius, up next. House number 9. Sun, moon, ascendant. Sagittarius is associated with Jupiter, the planet. Higher learning. Yes. Sun, moon, ascendants. Yes. Let us see what the cards have to say today. My Sagittarius cats out here. Look at the deck. Clear the energy. We draw 2. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles alongside the Ace of Swords. And the Fool. In reverse. In the Root. Sagittarius, my dudes. Right now, the real work is trust, is faith, is knowing, and focusing and shifting your mental energy on the frequency of the Fool, the innocent individual who moves about this world as if nothing can go wrong, as if everything works in their favor. What does it feel like to want nothing? What does it feel like to have everything you need? What does it feel like to know that as you move about this world, you can do no wrong? And everything is happening. And everything is happening. And everything is happening. Nothing more, nothing less. And you can do what you wish with this information. Find your edge and get to work. What are you being called to shift your energy towards? Knowing that you have this within you. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, as they say. And it's important for us today to remember that what are we working on and what stories are we subscribing to? I feel like this is the theme of the evening, and ultimately this will play out on how our reality is manifested and expressed. Right now, you're being called to be imaginative, childlike with your mentality. Not subscribing to these limits of this 3-dimensional space that we have been living in an entire lifetime. But more so allowing yourself to be like, hey, I want to imagine, if you want a new home, imagining your dream home and just putting yourself in that frequency. Putting yourself in that frequency. And it doesn't, you don't have to be attached to the physical form of it. And you can also, like, your dream home can be a little purple tree on a tiny planet that is the only tree on that planet, but it's the biggest tree in the world. You know, like, you're allowed, and this will just allow your imagination to begin to expand, which is a muscle within itself, would allow you to dive deeper into your magical practice and manifestation and what it is that you want to call upon this world, because you're a boundless individual and you don't need to be bound by these minimalistic ways of thinking. It's time to take off the governors from your mind and open up. Yeah, that's it, Sagittarius. The higher learning is coming in. Hot. Next up, Capricorn. Happy birthday, my dudes. Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Saturn, for you. Yes. Capricorn's like legacy, like how you're expressed onto this world, your consistency, your rhythms, your not necessarily identity, but more so how your identity is also seen in a social environment, an ascendant space,
like your reputation of sorts. Yes, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, ascendants for you, my dudes, my dudes. Saturn in the room, house number 10. The Hierophant, reverse. Seven of Swords, reverse as well in the draw. Be nice, be nice. We have the Ace of Cups in the root, reminding ourselves that we are here to move from the heart space. This is the ultimate challenge of the journey. I know it's corny as fuck. I'm not saying you gotta become a monk, but I am saying that we can choose to move with gentility. And a great way of doing so is bringing light of the situation. Shouts out to the Light Seers Tarot today and all my Capricorn babes in the house. Learning how to live a path from the heart space. Where's your heart calling for you today? Learning how to sit with that and being real with oneself. Ultimately, because we all do it in our own ways, we always act in ways that aren't necessarily in alignment with the house, with the heart. Sometimes we make a little bit more noise than the spaces based in, as I'll say, to be gentle. And that's cool, because all the vibes are welcome here. And at the same time, learning how to move a heart-centered state and way of being will allow us to bring more joy and sense of ease onto our way of going into this world, a greater sense of joy, a greater sense of presence, a greater sense of hysterical essence, knowing that this shit is one great laugh at the end of the day. And this is ultimately where the heart stems from. Yes, indeed. But now we're being called to move in this direction, and maybe move into the night, move in the stillness, move in the dark, moving into the dark, moving into the shadow, because this is the way to clean the heart. Indeed. I love it. We're here for it. Yes, indeed. We already told you. Says the Capricorns. Geminis. Aquarius. Up next. House number 11. Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Aquarius is like your friendships, but on like a grand scale as well, like social dynamics, like I want to almost say like social justice, just like the way you perceive your values and your connections on a grand like social scale, as well as friendships. Yes, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, Uranus, Aquarius. This one is for you, my dudes, my dudes. We cut the deck. Clear the energy. We draw. Queen of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Hashtag Aquarius. About dang time. Five of Pentacles. Reverse in the root. House number 11, my dudes. Getting a sense that this upcoming chapter has much greater stories when it comes to friendship, connection, that aren't going to lead to things like this. Instead, we're moving in a new direction that's much more in alignment like this. Because we've been doing that work, and we've had enough time, and this is on the way out. This root is the one that is to be removed. That's the magic, that's the awareness right now. Thank you for the gift. As we're here growing our gardens, the flowers out here growing, it's important for us to use our awareness, our passion, our motivation, and now stir up a fire for healing to get ourselves out of this. Sometimes we need a little fire under our ass, get things moving. But this is how we
fertilize our soil, make space for the things that it is that we wish to grow. Knowing that fire is a great way to fertilize the soil as well. Yes, charcoal is outstanding for the fire. You didn't necessarily miss it, but yes, it'll be on YouTube. Yeah, we already did Leo, that's for sure. It'll be up on YouTube probably tomorrow, nonetheless. Knight of Pentacles. Continuing to move in the direction of our passions, that what lights us up, planting these seeds within our reality, whether it be like putting little post-it notes on your mirror for reminders to help you stay focused on that what it is that you wish to call in, or really setting down and having a daily practice where you meditate, you practice breathing, or you do your affirmations, or you're consciously eating or cleaning or preparing a meal for yourself. This is the real fire right now that will prepare this space to transmute this energy, get this stuff going in a new direction. So you may alchemize any remnants or lingering definitions of this, but this is the direction, my dudes. Aquarius, for you. Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to flow forward. House number 12. Last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, Neptune, or any other placements which you may have it. House number 12 is the subconscious, the ascendant state, the deeper sense of self, that aspect of self that is beyond time and space and definition. This is for you, my dudes. House number 12, Pisces, my fish. Let's go to school. We got the deck. Clear the energy. We draw 2. Of course. 4 of Cups. Of course. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Judgment card in reverse right now. Trust. 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 Surrender is the real challenge, but when we can surrender, we can open up our heart and let our truth move through in ways that we didn't even recognize were possible. What ways are we damning ourselves? Yes, there's a reason there's a pun there, and I didn't make it. Where are we damning ourselves? Where are we shaming and guilting ourselves? Where are we saying that we're not doing good enough, or that we need to be doing better? And where are we stopping our energy flow, our water within? Where are we damning ourselves? Pisces energy, my fish. 2 fish were swimming upstream. One stops suddenly and looks at the other and says, damn. It's not your fault. Those fish didn't build that dam. Who built these dams? It's time to go down with these dams, if you know what I'm saying. And surrendering onto the flow of reality. For this is how you let your truth move through you. You picking up what I'm putting down? Be breezy, baby. Now's the time to be chill and easy and ground and allow ourselves a moment to feel the water and that what it is that we're feeling, because our intuitions will always point us in the right directions. We do not need to damn ourselves any longer. In fact, like I said, be down with the dams. Down with the dams. Be down with downing the dams. And I don't mean to say damn the dams. That doesn't make sense. Why would you damn a dam? You just break the dam. You just, like Bane over Batman. And this is how your truth is expressed. Pisces, my dudes, don't stop dreaming. Don't stop dreaming. You play a vital role in this endeavor. Absolutely. How can you continue to show upon this screen that we call reality, expressing your truth to your utmost capacity to the best of your ability in alignment with your dreams and the queen within you? That yin energy, that truth. I'm starting to think that this bomb is a Queen of Cups is the card of the Tao, or just that yin, that strong yin essence energy, the dark depths of the water. And ultimately knowing it's out of our control, so how can I just let my hands go and just be like, alright. Woo! Out here. Paige, you ever read the book? It's called Illusions. Illusions. The Stories of a Reluctant Messiah by Richard Bach. No, it's broccoli water. Yes, you do. It's a great one, and the introductory has a fantastic metaphor for this endeavor that you are asking. How does anyone do it? You ever ridden a roller coaster before?
Practice. Practice surrendering, just like you do anything else. Yes. Did not say it was easy.
I'm saying be easy on yourself, because being hard on yourself is only going to make it harder. Thanks, Dad. That was all 12 houses. I dig it. That was fun. This ought to be up in the near future. Adrenaline is a hell of a drug, that's for sure. And we'll probably jump on in like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see how we're feeling. I said Dad, but Gab works too. Absolutely. Be easy out there. Don't be hard on yourself. It only makes things harder. Let you wear it. I love that one. So cute. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Peace and prosperity, my dudes. And Godspeed, of course.